Okay, guys, what's up? Welcome back. I want to say in more simple terms here what's going on. So, we're living in an extraction economy today. We're living in a world where corporations run the show. Corporations are the most powerful entity. Corporations are running and controlling our government. Corporations are calling the shots. And corporations don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about the world. They don't care about human values or human quality of life. They only care about making more money, extracting wealth and value from communities. And they do it through having companies that put a store on the corner in your community, and also through the internet, of course, but they do it often through the things that you consume every day. And they make it so it's like, oh, that's your neighborhood store. But when you buy the products, everything you buy, it's sending profits out of your city, out of your state to the wealthiest people. And, you know, it wouldn't be such a problem if corporations actually cared about quality of life, if corporations had a democratic process or something that would make them give a damn about the world being a good place to live. But they don't. It's just how the rules of the game works. And our economy is sort of like a monopoly game, except because corporations can use money to buy politicians and buy laws. They've changed things, like through Citizens United. Now any corporation can just do the highest bidder process to get politicians elected, to get laws passed. And what it means is that our democracy is not a democracy anymore. It's a corporatocracy, where it's essentially the highest bidder wins. It's a marketing match. Our votes really don't matter that much. I'm not saying you shouldn't vote, but I'm saying probably you're going to make a much bigger difference with what you choose to buy, because no matter whether the Democrat or the Republican get elected, they're both parties are completely captured by corporations and corporate interests. They do not vote based on what is actually of interest to the average citizen. Citizens can't hold them accountable. Corporations do. A lot of people aren't tuned in to how the political system works, but it's very, very, very corrupted. Even though you have good people who will try to run for office, they're part of a machine, they're part of a board game that has rules, and it's just how it functions. It's not in a position to change this corporatocracy that we're living in. Corporations run the show, billionaires run the show. And how do we stop it? Well, we have to recognize our involvement, our participation in the system, which is that when we buy goods from publicly traded companies, we are sending profits out of our city, out of our state, and helping wealth become more and more concentrated in the world. We're helping the wealthiest billionaires become wealthier. Inflation also makes wages go down and makes things harder for the average person to afford, making it even easier for wealth to be extracted. It's not like any one individual person is trying to do a bad thing. The problem is that we've created this system based on incentives, based on desires and demands, and the fact that we have a government where money can buy laws and buy influence in political campaigns is just naturally gone that way. We're playing a monopoly game. The wealthy people have concentrated wealth, and they're using that wealth in a way that's allowed, which is to influence political outcomes. And they're going to influence it in the way that's good for them. They're going to try to get the legal loopholes to lower their taxes or to avoid taxation. They're going to not care or know what are the interests of the average American, because they're not average Americans. Investor class people don't know what it's like to be an average American. They don't know how hard it is to be a working class person. And so how do we change things? We change things by not buying into the system, by choosing how we vote with our dollars, by not sending profits out of our communities to billionaires who don't need it. The way that we do it is by creating a network of businesses. I'm creating a network called Buy Local, BY Local. And it's going to be starting as a business directory where it's all human-based businesses that agree to never go public and that agree to a set of principles, like that they'll never sell out to anonymous investors, and that they'll always be transparent about who owns the business, what their priorities are, what they do, if anything. It's like a community give back, where and how they try to source their products, and how that works, like what businesses they do business with. And I think that type of an economy, and that's literally capitalism is supposed to be like informed consumers. The problem is consumers are not informed today. There's like a subsidiary owned by a subsidiary owned by some, major, huge corporation. And then you go to the grocery store, there's only like 6 companies that own everything. And all those companies, they're all owned by the same 1% investors. All of them, all those seemingly different diversity businesses, it's all just one big investor conglomerate that owns all of it, that's extracting all the wealth. And so, we're doing business with each other, and then, we're thinking economy is normal, we're doing business as usual, but it's really just, what are all the opportunities to extract wealth from everyone else and send it to the top. So we get out of that system, we change it, and we help save the world by moving away from the extraction economy to a human-based economy that's centered around human values, around businesses run by people who are actual humans, who can show their face and who can be transparent and who agree to not participate in the corporatization of everything. And they agree that that the problem in the world today is that corporations run everything, that inequality is gone crazy, wealth inequality is just extreme, and that we need to change it. And one of the biggest ways we can change it is by voting with our dollars for human-based businesses and not voting for concentrating wealth and giving profits to billionaires and sending profit out of our communities to people who don't need it. So I want you to join this movement, this buy local movement. I'm going to create a business directory. If you have a business, you can join. And as long as you just agree to the set of principles, then I'm happy to have you join it. We need as many people to be part of this as possible. And the goal is that we can slowly start substituting the things that we buy from corporations to having opportunities to then buy them from human-based businesses. This is the very start of it. We're not going to suddenly overnight change all the things that we buy from big corporations, but we can slowly start to move in that direction and start building the businesses either in our own city or have it, get it from another human-based business that's part of the network in another city, and slowly start changing our buying habits to purchasing things from non-corporate businesses, from human-based, people-based businesses, and start building human relationships. You don't build a relationship with the corporation, but you can build a relationship and a stronger community and meet people and create friendships with people who live in your city, and creating connections to the supply chain when you get to know the person you're buying the good from, the person who made it often. And that's what's so amazing about this. This is about connecting people, creating friendship, creating trust, creating community through this process of actually transacting the way that humans were meant to, which is by knowing the person behind what's happening and not having this anonymous megalithic entity that's just designed to only suck wealth, decrease wages as much as possible, and spend the least amount of money on the least quality product. So I want you to be part of this. It's an economic revolution. It can literally be the solution to all the problems in the world, because corporations' only bottom line is profit at the expense of everything else, and to extract wealth from everyone that touches it. And this is switching to an economy based on people, based on building value, building community, and keeping human values sacred, and honoring people and the planet and community. It's a beautiful thing. I want you to join it. I love you. It's called Buy Local. please join. Be a part of it. Stay tuned. Thanks.